boys and girls. I'm Miss Millirons with the Knox County Math Department, and today we're talking about how to fluently add within 10 using mental strategies. And today the strategies for addition are count on and find one more. We're going to use mental strategies because that's a way to solve a problem without using pictures, counter, or paper and pencil. So we're going to do an activity called How Many. Many of you may have done this activity in your classroom, and so I'll say how many and you tell me. All right, so here's an example. How many? 10, that's correct. How many? 8. How many? 3. How many? 4. How many? 7. How many? 10. How many? 5. Good job. All right, now we're going to do another activity about how many circles you see and how many squares in the frame are empty and how many more circles are needed to fill the frame to make 10. So we're working on making 10. Of course, we have two add-ins, which in this picture you see that we have 3 and we have 2 more, which is 5, the sum of 5. All right, so let's do this activity. So how many circles do you see? 5. How many squares in the frame are empty? 5. How many circles are needed to fill the frame? 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. All right, you ready to begin? How many circles? 9. How many squares are empty? 1. So how many more circles do we need to make 10? 1, correct. How many circles? 10. How many of the squares in the frame are empty? 0. How many circles are needed to fill the frame? 0. Good. How many circles? 5. How many squares in the frame are empty? 5. How many more circles are needed to fill the frame? 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. How many circles? 8. How many frames are empty? 2. How many circles are needed to fill the frame? 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10. Also, we can use the commutative property, which sometimes in your classroom you call the flip-flop. And instead of saying 8 plus 2 is 10, I can say 2 plus 8 is 10. Either way that I switch the add-ins, I still get the sum of 10. How many? 5. How many squares in the frames are empty? 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. How many circles? 3. How many squares in the frame are empty? 7. How many more circles do I need? I'm sorry, boys and girls. How many circles? 3. How many squares in the frame are empty? 7. How many more circles are needed to fill the frame? 7. So 3 plus 7 is 10, or 7 plus 3 is 10. How many circles? 7. How many squares in the frame are empty? 3. How many more circles are needed to fill the frame? 3. All right, so we just used the commutative property to say 7 plus 3 is 10 and 3 plus 7 is 10. How many circles? 3. How many circles in the frame are empty? 7. How many more circles are needed to fill the frame? 7. So once again, 3 plus 7 is 10, or 7 plus 3 is 10. How many circles? 4. How many squares in the frame are empty? 6. How many more circles are needed to fill the frame? 6. So 4 plus 6 equals 10. How many circles? 5. How many squares in the frame are empty? 5. So how many more circles are needed to fill the frame? 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. How many circles? 10. How many squares in the frame are empty? 0. So how many more circles are needed to fill the frame? 0. How many circles? 6. How many squares in the frame are empty? 4. How many circles are needed to fill the frame? 4. So 6 plus 4 is 10, or 4 plus 6 is 10. How many circles? 3. How many more circles are needed to fill the frame? 7. So 3 plus 7 is 10, or 7 plus 3 is 10. How many circles? 8. How many more do we need to make 10? We need 2 more. So 8 plus 2 is 10, or 2 plus 8 is 10. How many circles? 10. Do we need any more to make 10? No, we need 0. All right, now we're going to do an activity called SNAP. You may have done this in your classroom where your teacher holds up 10 snap cubes, and then she puts them behind her back and says, snap, and then she shows you what she has in her hand. So in this case, I have 10 snap cubes. I put them behind my back, and then I show you 5, and I say, what is missing? And you tell me 5, because 5 plus 5 equals 10. Okay, since I won't be putting the cubes behind my back, we're just going to do this with the pictures. So see if you can figure out how many I snapped behind my back and what I put out in front for you to see, which will be the second picture. All right, here we go. 10 cubes, snap. Now I have 3. What do I need to make 10? 7, correct. 10 snap cubes, snap. Now I have 6. How many do I have behind my back? 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. I have 10 cubes, snap. Now I am showing you 8. How many cubes do I have behind my back? 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. I have 10 snap cubes, snap. I'm showing you 1. How many snap cubes do I have behind my back? 9, that is correct. All right, so there is a strategy we can use to find out one more than a particular number. So we can find one more or add 2. So let's look at these numbers. We have 3, and if we find one more, that would be 4, correct? We have 1, and if we find one more, we have 2, that's correct. We have 5, and if we find one more or add 2, one more, it would be 6. We have 9, and we add 2 or find one more, it would be 10. Very good. All right. Now we're going to look at a contextual word problem where we are going to add 2. Read this problem with me. There are 4 butterflies. One more joins them. How many butterflies are there now? It's been so nice outside with the spring weather. I bet you might have seen some butterflies. Okay, so let's talk about the butterflies. This whole word problem is on butterflies. So it says there are 4 butterflies and 1 more joins them. And the question asks, how many butterflies are there now? So we have 4 butterflies, and we have 1 more that adds to or joins them. So how many butterflies do we have now? We have 5. Great job. We have 5. All right, here is another contextual word problem. There are 2 white hens. Read with me. There are 2 white hens and 1 brown hen. How many hens are there all together? All together. All right, we're talking about what? Hens, and we're talking about how many hens there are all together. That's the question. Okay, so it says we have 2 white hens. Here's our 2. And it says we have 1 brown hen. Here's our 1. How many hens are there all together? There is a sum of 3 hens. Good job, boys and girls. All right. We are looking at adding to or putting together. Another strategy that we can use to add. Okay, so we have here 7 yellow fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we add 2 more, 8, 9. So we have, putting together, 9 fish. Now, one way that you may have learned how to do this in your classroom is by saying I have 7 and I put 7 in my head and I add on or put together 2 more. 7, 8, 9. So my answer is 9. All right, boys and girls, let's look at the bunnies. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bunnies. All right, 5. So I can say 5, or I can say 5, and I am going to put together 5 more. So I have 10 bunnies. Okay, let's look here at the rabbits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 rabbits. Okay, and I'm going to put them together with these 4 rabbits. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 6 plus 4 equals 10 rabbits. Okay, boys and girls, I made a mistake here, and often in our book, it says that someone says that there are 8 fish, and someone else, like Joe, says that there are 9 fish. Who is correct? Okay, so look at this problem. We have 2 blue fish and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 yellow fish, and it's easier to put together 2 numbers if you start with a larger number and then add 2 to the smaller number. All right, so we have 7 fish, and we're going to add 2 more, 7, 8, 9. Okay, who is correct? Me? I said 8. Or Joe, who said 9? Ah, it was Joe, wasn't it, that was correct, not me. So we mark out my answer and we put 9. Boys and girls, we know that it's okay to make a mistake, or sometimes we count inaccurately, but we say, okay, we made a mistake, and now we understand, and we go back and fix it. So Joe's answer was correct, and mine was incorrect. All right, here we're putting together numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 soccer balls, and we are adding 1 to it, so we have a total of how many soccer balls? We have a total of 6, correct. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 baseballs, and we're going to put together 4 more with this 4, and so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have a total of 8 baseballs. Okay, here we have 6 red balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to put together some more balls with these 6. And so we say we have 6 here. And then we're going to say 7, 8, and 9. So how many total red balls do we have? We have 9. Great, boys and girls. All right. Here is another one where we add 1 more or we put together. Okay, and what we want you to do is eventually be able to look at 2 plus 1 and say, hey, that's 3 without having to count it. Or 3 plus 1 and say, oh, that's 4. And 2 plus 2, 4. And 2 plus 3, 5. So we want you to be able to do that quickly without having to count. All right, here is another contextual word problem. Let's see if we can figure it out. Read it with me. There are 5 chicks. Some are not eating. 3 are eating. How many chicks are not eating? Okay, what are we talking about? Chicks, okay? All right, this is a good activity using chicks. All right, so we have 5 chicks. Some of them aren't eating. We have 3 that are eating. And the question says, how many chicks are not eating? So we have a sum of 5, and we know that 3 chicks are eating. So how many chicks are not eating? Well, we have to figure out 3 plus something equals 5. And we know that whatever is on this side of the equal sign also has to be the same on this side, equal the same or the same amount or quantity. So 3 plus 2 equals 5. Okay. All right, here is another one. Lee has 2 soccer balls. He finds more balls in the yard. Now he has 8 balls. How many balls did Lee find? Well, we're talking about soccer balls, and we know that he had 2, but now he has a total of 8. So how many more did he find? So our sum here is 8. This is our sum, and we have to find 2 add-ins to write an equation to equal A. So 2 plus something equals A. 6, that's correct. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Good job. All right, boys and girls, you will receive a packet this week that has some fluency activities on there. And one of those will tell you to be counting to 100 by 5s. You can use a number chart to do that. You can count in your head to do that. But we want to count to 100 by 5s. So we're going to start with 5. And we're going to count by 5s to hundreds. So it would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, and 110, 115, and 120. Okay, boys and girls, what did I just do incorrectly? Yes, it said count to 100. But if you can count further than 100, you keep going. The next one says count to 100 by tens. So we're going to start with 10 and we're going to count all the way to 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And can you count further? Yes, go ahead and try it. All right, the next one says start with 51 and count to 70. So we want to start with the number 51 and we want to count to the number 70 by ones. So it would be 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and 70. So you will see a number chart on your packet that you can use to count. All right, this is what your packet looks like. And like I said, I'm sorry, it is not a number chart there, but you can make one if you would like to. All right, so then there are two contextual problems talking about putting together. And then there's a couple of money problems that ask you how much each coin is worth and what is its name. So this is a penny and it's worth 1 cent, a nickel worth 5 cents, a dime worth 10 cents, and a quarter, which is worth 25 cents. All right, boys and girls, it was fun being with you today. And I want you to know that this packet and video can be found on knoxschools.org/KCS at home. Also on that website are some supplemental activities that you can use as well to practice your fluency skills. Our next fluency video will be about subtraction, and the third one will be subtraction and addition and their relationship. Thank you again. Have a great day.